And now the shootout you've been waiting for. Now, let's just look at these four contenders. Now, these are all, of course, slightly more expensive than the more budget phone cameras that actually a lot of people just use to take pictures.
Yeah, but I think that's the standard camera phone, and these, at least on paper, do claim that they have camera phone technology inside that is as good as standalone camera. So first we'll actually have a shootout between the four and then pit it against the Sony NEX6. What do you think would be the right testing environment? Let's say, I mean,
let's see, when you're actually using your phone as a camera,
think.
you know, one birthday parties, events like that, you're picking it up and you're taking
so dim, low light areas, because that happens a lot. You're at your kid's, event or something. He's on stage. Low light. Bright light at one area.
That's one. The second is you're just out somewhere and you see a great picture and you want to take it. There's been an accident which you're trying to figure out.
You could be in your car, which means moving. Fast moving.
A guy just swerved in front of you, belching smoke, and you want to take a picture of that guy.
I'm in an F1 car and you want to take a quick picture of me, one of those.
That sort of a thing, yeah. That sort of a thing.
And then, of course,
holidays. You're out on a holiday, you don't actually have a camera with you at that particular moment, you want to take something nice. So, slightly broader landscape.
And then we're going to do a color bleed. Some of the biggest problems with these is the sensors are small, so you take a red against a bright green and you can actually see the red bleed into the green. Okay. So we're going to put this to the ultimate test.
A number of different cases what we're going to shoot out, but before that, let's just say something about each of these cameras. So the iPhone, of course, we all know about. It's supposed to have
It actually
really
started the whole revolution of making sure that you don't wince every time you actually take a picture saying, oh my God, that's horrible.
So the 4S and the 5 have got really, really upgraded optics, so that's good. Now this, the HTC One, has got now an ultra pixel. We've had the megapixel board. This has got an ultra pixel, which they say each ultra pixel is 3 times better than a megapixel.
300% more light can be absorbed by each pixel, each part of that sensor. And, to tell you the truth, just when we only reviewed that, we were very impressed by that camera. But now it's being pitted against the biggies, okay? So the Nokia Lumia 920 with PureView technology, proven technology for better photography, and of course Sony with their CyberShot technology in a phone. So this is going to be a great shootout. Okay. And so we have no idea what the results are going to be right now.
So let's just get into this. May the best man, may the best phone camera win.
Before we begin though, let's first acquaint ourselves with the latest in mobile camera tech, something HTC calls the Ultra Pixel. An Ultra Pixel is simply a marketing term that describes the size of an individual pixel. HTC wants you to know that you're getting a pixel that is bigger than anything else that the competition has. This is achieved by layering more photodiode over the sensor. This not only allows more light to come in but allows the camera to store more data in a single pixel. With that out of the way, let's start with the shootout. We began our quest with the low light test. All phone cameras were left to their default settings and we began clicking away. The Xperia Z disappointed us the most. We had high hopes from this camera, but the clarity and the quality in low light conditions left a lot to be desired. iPhone 5 came in at second in our test. With great picture quality, there was sharpness in the pictures and the overall quality was excellent. Where it failed though was the low light performance. Let's just be very clear here, the only reason iPhone 5 didn't score higher was because of the insanely good camera phones that took our first place. The HTC One did justice to its ultra pixel monkia by giving us amazing shots in low light. It matched the Lumia 920's PureView branded shooter with aplomb. Speaking of which, the Lumia 920 is still one of the best phone cameras around. It still has a lot of strut and delivered insanely detailed images compared to the rest of the phones with ease. Our verdict, it's a tie between the Lumia 920 and the HTC One. With our low light tests out of the way, we headed for some light in the shiny outdoors to see how the cameras performed. Once again, all the phones were left at default settings before the test began. The Xperia Z sadly was once again disappointing. The 13.1 megapixel camera on the phone is nothing to scoff at, but when it comes to delivering images comparable to other high-end smartphone cameras, it sadly falls short. The iPhone 5 was at its best, offering little to no color bleed, and the colors looked natural. In fact, that is exactly the problem we had with the HTC One. The photos were awesome, to put it bluntly. Great picture quality and sharpness, but the colors that the camera output left the team divided. We liked the clarity, but the colors never quite looked natural. The iPhone 5 beats the HTC One in that department easily. The The Lumia 920 was the clear winner here with great looking photos with nice detail and natural colors. Our scores: Xperia Z finishing last with the HTC One in third place, preceded by the iPhone 5 in second place, with the Lumia 920 finishing first. Two down, and we began the third test, which involved fast-moving subjects. Our goal was to find the camera with the least amount of blur in the images, and the camera's ability to stay in focus with a moving object. All the phones on our list except the iPhone 5 came with a sports mode to help us take these pictures. This is one test where the Xperia Z did fare pretty well, giving us nice pictures and minimal blur, but was easily dethroned by the iPhone 5 and the HTC One, both giving us great pictures with minimal fuss. The Lumia 920 once again shined here, taking great pictures with lesser blur compared to the other phones. Our scores: Xperia Z finishes last with the iPhone 5 and HTC One taking a joint second place, and Lumia 920 once again trumping the rest of the pack.
So an interesting winner out there, but I think it would also be fair to say, Rajiv, that the pictures that any of these are taking, I guess the average person, especially in a small, unless you're blowing it up to the size of a house, you probably won't be able to tell much the difference, right?
Well,
They're
that's
really,
exactly what
really
we're about to
close.
find out now, that, you know, we're living under the illusion that these were amazing, and actually the pictures came out amazing. I was more surprised and shocked than really disappointed, but maybe we'll know now when a standalone camera gives you completely
So
different
we're going to
results.
pit this particular winner against the winner of our standalone Wi-Fi camera last week, which is the Sony NEX. Let's see how this shootout stacks up.
Now over to the next test. We pit our winner, the Lumia 920, against the mighty Sony NEX6. We visited the outdoors once again to pit these two together, and the results spoke for themselves. The natural colors we kept raving about suddenly seemed ordinary when pitted against the might of the NEX6. There was simply little competition. The Lumia 920 held its own easily against the phones, but when it came to pitting it against an actual camera, the Lumia 920 was absolutely no match. Our verdict: the NEX6 overpowered the PureView juggernaut with ease.
So I guess, Rajiv, that's where you're at. If you're a professional camera person, if you want to take really outstanding pictures and if you want to blow them up, you have to go for a standalone. But hey, some of these phones, the sort of pictures that they can take for a casual user, are probably just fine.
And the other thing is that I think the gap has narrowed considerably. So I think the only two things left is sensor technology already improving, so I'm not going to say, oh, one day. All that's left is a really good optical zoom, and these guys could actually be almost there. An optical zoom in a camera phone, I think the next big frontier, right?
Okay, so that's one of the next frontiers to explore, but we are going to take a break right now. Lots more when we come back.